Coco with all of his heart. He walked him, played with him, even slept with him. But one day, something bad happened.
It all started on a warm Saturday morning. He was throwing a stick for Coco to fetch, but on one of the throws, Coco did not come back after he was supposed to have retrieved the stick. Jack waited 5 minutes before he decided that something was wrong. He went searching for Coco all day, but had no luck.
Just when he was about to give up and try again in the morning, he found a ripped piece of red fabric stuck on a bush. He brought the fabric into his castle and examined it. He remembered that he once saw a young girl in a red hooded cloak playing with her golden-haired friend. He thought that it might have been from her. But why would she have been on his property?
The next day, he decided to put up flyers for his lost dog all the way down the mountain. He waited all day for someone to call about Coco because they had found him, but nobody called. He was about to go to bed when he heard knocking at his front door. When he came to the door, a young man named Peter Pan flew into the house and greeted him. Peter said that he had seen the flyers for Coco and flew right over to help him look for his dog. Peter said, "I saw what looked like your little puppy, but being carried by a young golden-haired girl."
That must have been Coco, Jack replied. Do you know the girl? Peter asked. No, said Jack. However, I think that I have seen her before. I'm pretty sure that she is friends with a girl in a red cloak, and I found a ripped piece of that cloak stuck on a bush near my castle a few hours after I lost Coco. Peter suggested that in the morning they should go down to the town to see if anybody knows the girls, and Jack agreed.
After a good night's sleep in Jack's castle, Peter and Jack went to the town in search of the two girls. Nobody that they asked had seen the girls before, but as they were leaving, Jack heard a bark. He went towards the sound. The bark sounded sad, and Jack knew it belonged to Coco. He found the house where it was coming from. Well, you could call it a house. It was more like a broken-down shack. Jack said, "This must be the place. It is falling apart, but it would be a great hideout."
Peter agreed. Let's go inside, he suggested. When they walked in, they found that there had been food and water set up in the back of the room with a dog bed. This is definitely where Coco was taken, but where is he? Jack panicked. Then Peter noticed that the back door was open. The people who took Coco must have went out this door. Let's go check it out.
As they exited the building, Jack looked into the distant woods and said, "There they are!" The golden-haired girl and the red-cloaked girl were running into the forest, and Jack could see that Coco was in their possession. "They must have heard us coming towards the shack," Peter said. "Perhaps they are going to a hiding place. Let's follow them," Jack said. "Good idea," Peter agreed.
Peter flew ahead to catch the girls, and he landed just ahead of them. However, the girls had made the trap camouflaged to blend into the forest floor. He fell into the hidden hole that had been prepared. The girls ran away before Jack could get there to help Peter climb out of the hole and stop them.
"How are we going to catch up to them and get Coco back if they have set up traps that will slow us down?" Jack complained. "If we go around the path that they're taking, we could cut them off and retrieve your dog," Peter said. "Good idea, but we still must look out for possible traps," Jack said. "Let's go get Coco back."
As Jack and Peter started their journey around the path in the woods, they encountered a few traps. Peter had triggered a net that fell out of a tree onto him, and he had trouble getting out. Jack stepped on a rope that pulled him into the trees by his leg, and he also fell into a hidden pit of quicksand. They began to slow down due to all of the walking and traps, and decided to stop for a rest through the night.
In the morning, they woke up and realized that they were chained to a tree by their hands. Luckily, whoever chained them up accidentally dropped the key right in front of them, and Peter was able to pick it up with his feet so they could unlock the chains. After
Searching a couple of hours for Coco, Jack stumbled upon another key. He didn't know what it was for, but he took it anyway. They kept on walking and eventually found two sets of footprints. They started following them until they separated at two different paths. "Which way should we go?" Peter asked. "I'll take the right path and you take the left path. If you find something, yell as loud as you can," Jack said. "Okay," Peter replied.
Jack's path eventually led to a dead end, and he realized that he had been tricked, so he began walking back. Peter was walking upon his path and stumbled on a tree root. He took a close look at the tree and noticed the sun shining off of a piece of metal. He examined the metal piece and noticed that it was a lock. He yelled as loud as he could, "Jack!" Soon after, Jack came running up to him. "What did you find, Peter?" he asked. "I found a lock with a keyhole on this tree trunk here. Maybe the key that you had found will fit into it," Peter said. "Let me try," Jack said. He put the key into the hole and turned it. The tree opened up and revealed a secret staircase going down into the earth.
They went down the stairs cautiously, not wanting to be noticed. The room was dark, but there was a faint whine coming from the other side of it. Jack knew it must be his dog. "Coco!" Jack called out. He took a flashlight and ran towards the sound. Coco was tied up against the wall by a rope. Peter untied the dog and Coco jumped into Jack's arms. "Let's get out of here before the girls come back," Jack said.
Just as they were walking out the door, the wind suddenly blew it closed, and it locked. They spent hours trying to unlock it, but it would not budge. Finally, they decided to go to sleep and try again in the morning.
The next morning, they found a switch on the wall that opened the door. They started to walk back to the Candy Castle, and it took them till late afternoon. However, when they got to the castle, they found the girls inside of it. The girls realized that there was no escaping this mess, so they just explained themselves.
The girl with the red cloak had a nickname of Little Red Riding Hood. The other girl with the golden hair was named Goldilocks. "Why did you steal my dog?" Jack said angrily. Goldilocks said, "We thought that your candy castle was super cool, so we wanted it. We knew that if we took your dog, you would leave the castle to get him back, and we could take the castle. We didn't mean to do any harm," she said. Peter whispered an idea in Jack's ear. Jack liked the idea.
6 months later.
Little Red Riding Hood and Goldilocks loved their new castle. Peter had it built out of candy at the bottom of the mountain. Peter now lived with Jack and Coco in Jack's castle. They all became great friends, and everybody lived happily ever after.
The end.